All right, folks, we're back. This is it. Week 18, the final week of the regular season of No Slugger Left Behind. I'm Christian, owner of the Knights, sitting pretty in the top seed. I am here, as always, with my co-com owner of the Mario Fireballs, Iris, who just last week finally secured a playoff lock. How you feeling, Iris?
I'm feeling really good. You know, the Orioles won today. They're off to a record of 3-3, but I think today they really showed what they're capable of. So that makes me happy. And hopefully it portends good things for my Mario Fireballs here tonight. Definitely feels good to enter this last week with a playoff spot secured. But at the very least, I would like to try and, get that second seed, have some home field advantage. And I'm really excited to watch the most meaningful baseball of the regular season, right? The first two games are all about pride, but the last two games have huge implications for the entire playoff picture, and it should be extremely exciting.
Probably. I wouldn't know anything about that, though, as I transition us over to the standings, because the Luigi Knights can't go anywhere right now. You know, pride goeth before a fall, but man, it feels real good at 14-1 with a plus 62 run differential. You're not doing too bad yourself, plus 40, certainly one of the few teams in the positives and one of only two in the double digits. 8-6-1, comfortably ahead right now. The rookies and the muscles are extremely close, both at 8-7. They hold the playoff spots right now, but after tonight, the Bows at 7-7-1 with a positive run diff just might have what it takes to come in there. Behind them, it's everybody else. The Flowers at 5-8-2 have kind of fallen from peak mid. They were rocking a 500 win rate for a while there, but it has been on a slip lately. The Bowser Monsters at 6-10 were recently defeated by the Peach Monarchs, who went to 5-10, which means that there may actually be a tie for the bottom at the end of this league, depending on how tonight goes. And I'm sure the DK Wilds, all the way down there at -45, 5-10, would not mind sharing the spot with at least someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, It's pretty exciting. We have 5 teams vying for 4 playoff spots, so there are a decent few configurations where the Knights and the Fireballs are locked, but between the Rookies, Muscles, and the Bows, um, any two of them can get in, and I believe all 3 of them can get in as either the third or the fourth seed.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, right? Because one plays four and two plays three when it comes time for that first round of playoffs, your positioning matters almost as much as your ability to be in at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I maybe there is one of these teams who feels that they would rather face the Knights or would rather face the Fireballs. Certainly, I think just about every team would rather have the Fireballs as their round one opponent than the Luigi Knights. That 14-1 record is no accident.
I don't want to run into me in a dark alley, that's for sure. Although that is not entirely, but not not at all on the back of two players that we'll get to later. But for right now, let's talk about a little bit of a warm-up game. Peach Monarchs are going to the Cruiser to play the Daisy Flowers. They are going to be bringing Blue Drybones, who is their starting pitcher for the third or fourth time this league. Funky Kong, the only Monarch not to pitch. I was kind of hoping we'd see him on the mound just for shits and giggles tonight, but no such luck. He's going to stay at second base and in the 2 spot. Behind him, catcher Gray Shy Guy, starred right fielder Toadette, first baseman Peach, third baseman Toadsworth, probably going to see at least one, if not both of them pitching tonight. A Blue Pianta is taking up short, Pink Yoshi in left, and Zach themselves, that is West Zach, owner of the Monarchs, will be playing center field and batting ninth.
Yeah, this is a lineup that has certainly shown its strengths at spots. The defensive positions, the batting order, all of that has changed a little bit over the past 18 weeks. And I think when this team gets rolling, it can definitely put on some damage as any team can. Uh, but going up against them, we have a team that is even more snowbally in the Daisy Flowers, a team kind of famous at this point for its late inning comebacks. Leading off, we have Money Mole behind the dish, Daisy over at first base, Yellow Toad in left field, Rhiannon herself in center, Blue Critter receiving that star over at third base, Yellow Yoshi in right field, Yellow Madge at short, Green Para manning second base, and Blooper one last time taking the mound.
Yeah, I don't know that the Flowers have really had their kind of big moment in the way that some other teams have. I mean, the Monarchs with a 16-run win was very flashy, but just because they might not be quite as flashy as other teams does not mean the Flowers don't know how to win ball games or tie them just for fun at 5-8-2. We'll see what happens. I did not get lineups from either coach tonight, but we may find them in chat later, so I hope we'll get to see some shuffling around. But the only shuffling around we're going to be doing right now is on the deck of the Cruiser one last time. Should I get us started?
Let's go.
Happy to have you folks shuffling in as we get going here. There we go. The video always lags a little bit the first time you switch it over. Now, how often in baseball do you see the pitcher pitch into the pitcher right out the gate? Not a lot of starting pitchers know how to bat in the first spot.
If I wanted to be a butt, I would say roughly once every 5 Dodgers games.
All right, but hey, that's a pretty favorable comparison if you're Blue Drybones, who unfortunately does not hit as well as Well, he hits better than Shohei statistically, but not in that moment.
Yeah. It's just a funny one because, a decade ago you would have said 0. Even though back then we had the pitchers, the National League did not have the designated hitter rule. The last time that pitcher was a truly great batter before that was Babe Ruth. And he wasn't even a pitcher for very much of his career, nor was he that great of a pitcher.
To be fair, Blue Drybones also has not been a pitcher for a significant amount of his career and is not amazing.
So you're telling me Blue Drybones is Babe Ruth?
He is a good hitter. He's a fun guy. I love to see him. But hey, maybe he'll prove me wrong here as Monty Mole steps up to the plate. Very quick top half of the first here with the Monarchs going scoreless.
And Monty Mole goes for a charge hit that grounds just between Blue Pianta and... I forget, who was that over on third base?
Third base is Toadsworth.
Toadsworth, yeah.
Why?
So just between...
Okay. We're good.
Yeah. Nice double play there. Turned by Funky Kong. Really embraced his role as a second baseman. Some sort of, really comps out as sort of like a Cattell Marte type.
Yeah, I mean, when you're the only Kong not on the Wilds team, it can be tough to find a place. Funky Kong did take that time to settle in, and I still don't think he's been the bat that you expect of Funky Kong. But he is a solid player for this Monarchs team. I understand why he was drafted on the earlier side.
Yeah. Now, I'm kind of curious what your theory crafting is here. Not to reveal too much draft strategy ahead of next season. Although, we'll mess around with the format. Anyway, if you have Donkey Kong as your captain, do you take Funky Kong with your first overall pick?
That's tough.
And if not, how late are you willing to let him drop? Because if you're a Donkey Kong team and you miss out on Funky Kong, it's catastrophic. But to other teams, Funky Kong doesn't grade out as highly as he does for you. So do you say maybe, hey, I think I could get away taking, a Bro or something in the first round and then let Funky Kong drop to round 2 or even round 3 if you really want to sort of grit your teeth?
Yeah, it's interesting. I have thought a little bit about this, right? Because naturally, I think your first pick should be a power hitter super diver. But because the Critters are 4 of those guys, and they have anti-chem with the Kong team, it is kind of a bit of a different situation when you're playing with them specifically. I think no matter what, I think Funky is your first Kong that you do pick of them, right? But I have thought about this. I've actually thought about it from the other side, right? Like, what if, as a non-Kong team, you snap up Tiny and Diddy early, knowing... almost a triple play right there, by the way. Blue Drybones, very lucky that the base pads were cleared for him. That was about to get really bad, by the way. But yes, I've kind of thought about holding some of the Kongs hostage, almost, knowing that they're more valuable trades for that one specific team. I think Funky Kong is probably your second round pick if you're a Kong's team. I think your first pick should be Petey or a Bro if available. I think that the Super Dives are just too valuable not to have at least one of, though you can take Yoshis and Shy Guys a little later for that if you need to. But barring those, definitely he goes at least second round and is probably the first of the Kongs to go. Following that, I would actually take Tiny over Diddy or Dixie personally, but that's just me.
Interesting. I can see it.
I just think she's better rounded, and Diddy Kong is a very expensive non-captain to have.
I can see that. I think hate drafting some of the Kongs, basically any of them outside of Funky almost, is I don't think it's that great because you have to figure like the value that this gets me has to be 8 times as good as just picking the best available pick there. So it's like if it's a toss-up coin flip, yeah, maybe think about hate draft if your next choice is, entirely comparable. But otherwise, you're playing 2 games a season against the Kong's team. Are you I think you're just making both of your two teams worse.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is just to use them as trade pieces early, right?
Hmm.
That's what it is. They're more valuable to the Kongs than they are to you, so you want to trade them. By the way, first movement we see on the scoreboard this game is with a very wise tag up from second to third from Pink Yoshi during that last at-bat that Gray Shy Guy successfully pays off here. I haven't been doing much play-by-play, not a lot to worry about too much here.
As we're getting into the weeds on draft strategy for one particular player, there is a game of baseball going on in which Green Para unfortunately bobbles that ball. Couldn't quite tell what the blue item looked like. It might have bounced off the table as well. So a really awkward play for Yellow Yoshi to make out there in right field.
Yeah, in a game that's been pretty low scoring so far, 2 runs with a man on third can be a bit of a concern for Blooper. He doesn't show any signs of slowing down yet. But another error, this time from Yellow Yoshi, brings in another. And I'm sorry, make that 2, because Peach hits a double, 4-0 now. This is starting to look bad for the Flowers.
Yeah, Flowers are known for their late inning comebacks, but 4 runs, I think, more or less matches the biggest comeback they have had.
And all
so
on 2 outs with
would
half a
need
game
to be
go.
as great as they've been all season.
Yeah, and you just think it all started with Green Paratroopa's miss on second. I'm reminded of last week where the Bowser Monsters lost a chance at a comeback on the E9 to end all E9s from the other Paratroopa who plays on that team in right. They can fly.
One more tie would be truly spectacular. So true.
They can fly. They've got pretty good chemistry. Not amazing, not terrible. But the Paratroopas, I think, are staggeringly underwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, hey, there's one where it's like, if it's between Dixie Kong and a Paratroopa, there maybe just take Dixie Kong or, Diddy Kong outright anyway, or Dixie Kong outright anyway.
Oh, yeah, no, the Kongs are not terrible players by any stretch of the imagination. They're just unique in that many of them are kind of all-around players who happen to be significantly better on one specific team. Flowers are going to make an attempt at a comeback unless that Buddy throws to second. Nope. Buddy throw to second might have made it in time, but instead they go for home. Run is already through. Monarchs scored a fair bit on 2 outs. Are the Flowers about to do the same? We'll find out. But not with Blue Drybones on the mound. That's all he's willing to give up tonight. I think overall still a pretty solid performance, only giving up 1 through 3 innings and change.
Yeah. As long as you're giving up fewer runs than your team scores for you, you're going to win a game of baseball.
We do actually have West Zach, owner of the Monarchs, in chat. Apparently something got canceled tonight, so I'm sorry something got canceled, but we're happy to have you here. I'm not above being the rebound. And we switch Drybones and Toadsworth, and that's it. A star hit from Yellow Toad is maybe the first Toad star hit I can think of us seeing all season, and it does not pay off.
Yeah, it's a shame if that were just a bit more, if that were just a bit closer to center field.
It's really wild. The Toads are such excellent slap hitters. Every time you see them go charge, go for a star, you're thinking, all you have to do is contact swing. It's the easiest kind of swing to make.
This is also a kind of hard stadium to hit it to the outfield in, more than most, in the sense that because it is so the stadium is so thin, you have those walls pretty close in on either side. That means that the left and right fielders can play closer in. Uh, so if any ball goes deep enough, you feel like it's going to get caught.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that earlier with Monty Mole. Very nearly got one over the back in left field, but it was just a long fly out. One player who definitely can get him over the wall is Blue Drybones. One out, runners on first and second. See, there's that bread and butter contact hit. The Toads and the Drybones really are kind of good and evil counterparts in that way. Although I think the Toads are generally better fielders, despite the stats being kind of similar. Not sure why.
Hmm.
One final on-speed, off-speed from Blooper, and Funky Kong, the power hitter, just going to go for the star swing. Hey, if it works, it works. It's going to be a 2 RBI single. All the way up to an impressive 6-1.
Yeah, you
the
can't be
Monarchs
mad about
lead by
that.
right now. Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, we'll see it with the Knights next game. Part of the reason that I put players like PD Piranha and Brown Critter separate is because I wanted those exact hits, those kind of high leverage star hit singles, to be more valuable when they're not back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
That's it from Blooper for this game and this season. I don't see Rhiannon yet, but usually when I say that, she shows up.
Yeah, some people are just lurkers.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Happy to have you.
We appreciate all of our lurkers.
I'll reach out real quick. Yeah, glad to hear, by the way, as we mentioned earlier, that the Orioles are doing well. I have not watched a full game yet, but I did watch them lose to the Twins last weekend, and I was a little bummed. So I'm glad it's not been all downhill.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. Took the series win, though.
Well, that's good. I do not see...
if you're going to take every series 2-1, then you're going to be the best team in baseball.
Yeah, not a lot of people with a solid 67% win rate. With nothing from Rhiannon yet.
Only a couple teams in the history of the game, as it turns out, because that would be 108 or a 109 win season.
This will be their year. And this will be Daisy's game.
If it's anyone's year, it would be the Dodgers, but
I'm tired of it being the Dodgers' year. It's been the Dodgers' year too many times lately.
It's true. You're not alone.
One out, runners on the corners for Gray Shy Guy here. Daisy just stepped in. Super dive from Yellow Madge is going to secure the out at first, but they have it to spare, so it is a sacrifice grounder to the infield. Toadette, line out straight to second, will end that. Still, another 3 from the Monarchs, 7-1 now. Flowers down by 6 with Rhiannon, Blue Critter, and Yellow Yoshi batting in the bottom of the 4th. This game's looking pretty decided right now, I must say.
Yeah, at this point they have to score 2 runs per inning. And this is a team that can really have troubles. We are in the range now where 1 comeback inning isn't really enough.
Yeah, certainly we've seen big numbers in single half innings. Blue Critter looking to make one of them, but Buddy Jump in the outfield shuts that down. Really don't want to be hitting them to center. This stadium was designed for those push and pull hits.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we've seen teams that are able to put up, 5, 8, 9, 11 in a single half inning before, but the Flowers aren't that team. And they've still got a whole defense against the Monarchs for the remaining 3 innings, even if they put up 2 per.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice little web gem there by Funky Kong, turning a double play.
Yeah, it's a shame this is the last we'll be seeing of the Cruiser. I quite like it as a stadium, but, that's what Season 2 is for. It is a princess-to-princess battle, and Peach is going to win this one with a long single into center left, excuse me. I need to make the little L with my hand to remind myself. Toadsworth showing bunt for no particular reason.
Yeah, didn't like that pitch. I don't really know what possible, what was wrong with that first pitch. Seemed like middle.
Did advance the runner, though. We'll see if Blue Pianta can make something out of it.
Mm-hmm. Not enough to drive Peach home, even though that ball was driven deep. It was driven right to Yellow Yoshi, who has a good enough arm to get it over back into the infield to potentially stop any sort of play for home.
Yeah, and this was a little risky. Blue Pianta being a slow base runner and Pink Yoshi not being an amazing hitter. But Yellow Magikoopa only turns 1 instead of 2 there, so it is yet another run for the Monarchs. That's all they're putting up this inning, but they're just extending the lead now. It's getting tough to imagine any sort of comeback. But hey, I would love for an exciting first game. I wasn't anticipating one, but that doesn't mean I'm opposed to it.
Beautiful hit there from Yellow Mag. I love that lazy line drive.
Yeah, their trajectory is pretty solid when it works. We actually do have some Magikoopas who, last I checked, which was some time ago, I'm a busy man these days, we're batting pretty close to 500.
Yeah, with that plus their infield defense, plus their ability as pitchers, just really solid pieces of any franchise.
Yeah, I
think they're never going to be the cornerstone of your franchise, but it feels like wherever the best of the best players you have aren't playing, Magikoopa is going to slot nicely right in there.
Perhaps the corner of the Flowers franchise might be Monty Mole. Bases loaded, no outs. This one's going. That's perfectly placed. Monty Mole grand slam, and finally the Flowers offense shows some sign of life.
Incredible.
I'm telling you, the power hitters on this team have got to learn from Monty Mole. That's all you're getting out of Toadsworth. He feels pretty discouraged seeing Monty Mole, the player. He got past Blue Critter, no trouble, but that damn Mole.
I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious about Monty Mole's home road splits. I wonder if he plays really nicely to this park.
I'd have to check. I know he hit a bit of a...
Oh.
Go ahead.
Certainly you don't expect him to hit a home run really anywhere but here. But...
Yeah, I know he had a bit of a mid-season slump, but I don't know whether or not there was much of a home-away split on that. I think it was just he started off hot, kind of fell off, and now he's back in form just in time to, I guess, vie for the 5th spot, or 6th spot.
There you go.
Alright, we do have some changes coming in from West Zach, owner of the Monarchs. Peach to pitch. Toadsworth goes back to playing third. Chad excited about the tie. I mean, it's not a tie game yet. It's kind of not even all that close to a tie game. But the Flowers are capable of putting up runs. They need 3 more in the bottom of the 5th here. There are no outs. Daisy batting on 2 strikes. Well, there's that out. What have I said all season? If Monty Mole has a good at-bat, Daisy won't, and vice versa. And it just seems to hold true. I don't know why.
Really nice take from Yellow Toad there inside. Really nice take outside.
Yep.
Peach is really scared of the contact here. You know, 1 out, nobody on base, and there will continue to be nobody on base as Toad lines out into Funky Kong's glove.
Yeah, off a contact hit, no less. That's like the trajectory you really expect to work for them, and it just didn't that time. And after a deep line out from Rhiannon to center, that's kind of all they're going to do.
I mean, hey, you put up another inning like that next inning, suddenly you're in the lead.
This is true, but as I said before, they've got to hold the Monarchs scoreless to do that, and they have been struggling in that department lately. Funky Kong looking to make it even harder with a charge on that first take. This one is not going to get over even the very low wall in right, but it is a single, puts 2 on, no outs. Gray Shy Guy's had his moments, has a season home run.
Yeah, you'd love to see a home run here. You won't. Instead, you're just going to see a double play. It advances Blue Bones over to third base, but at a steep, steep cost. Charge by Toadette here. I don't really know that I like the call.
Yeah, Shy Guys are quite good at double plays. I don't know if Toadette has the same amazing trajectory as the regular Toads do or not. She may be medium where they're higher.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I know the Toads have high trajectory. Toadette's might be medium or even low, so I don't mind charge as much on those kinds of players. But we'll see. Blue Critter batting first is exactly how you want to cut up these innings if you're the Monarchs. Gets a big piece of that, but it does pull foul left.
Yeah, you feel like Critters should really love hitting here because they tend to push the ball when they charge, which can get you some really nasty home run angles on this park. Funky Kong can't quite get to that one. You know, he's on this team for his offense. He struggles a little bit at second base, but if he can be a solid bat and give you serviceable second base defense, yeah, that's what you're hoping for from him.
No harm, no foul, as Blue Pianta makes an excellent jump there for the double play at short. But yeah, I mean, I think Funky Kong's been alright at second. We've certainly had worse second basemen in this league.
Yeah, it's like I said, you're hoping for a Cattell Marte type season from him. So a great bat and, you know, a bit just below average second base glove.
I still don't know that the bat has quite delivered in that department, but he is good, if not great. No chemistry.
Yeah, he's not Cattell Marte, but you're hoping he is.
Chemistry item on deck means this could be a freebie. Peach waits on the... Okay, so chemistry item baits the shortstop for a very easy infield fly ball. First base runner chooses not to run, then the shortstop throws to third instead of second. Now we get an infield fly roll with no chem item on deck. A lot of failure to communicate on that play. But Yellow Madge makes up for it here.
That will play there to end the inning.
Yeah, generally I think Yellow Magikarp is a pretty good shortstop. I guess, you know, his eyesight's not real good. He's got those thick glasses. Did not see that green shell coming.
Mm-hmm.
And now batting...
All right, these Rhiannon Flowers. 3 outs to make a beautiful last inning comeback happen. Not super the batters you want to see.
I mean, if Green Paratroopa and Blooper get on base, which they won't, if Blooper gets on base, you've got Grand Slam hitter Monty Mole up next. Could cut the lead down to 1.
Yeah. Blooper wants to join in on the fun here.
That
Thinks
ain't
better
it.
of it though. Unfortunately, it's not going to leave the infield. Monty Mole, a fan favorite, fighting to keep the season alive, if only for one more inning, for one more at bat.
That's
We
it
just
for the
want to play
Flowers,
more
folks.
baseball, but that's going to be it.
And the Monarchs will tie the Monsters with a 6-10 overall season record. Means we have an opportunity for a three-way tie for last place if the Wilds can do the impossible next game.
Yeah, these Peach Monarchs, they got off to a really rough start, but they have not been bad the second half of this season.
No, no, not at all. They were 1-7, I believe, in the first set, right? So they went five
So
and
so I think
three.
they went 4-4. I think they split their games.
No, they moved to 6-10. So off of 1-7, they went
Oh,
five and
yeah.
three, better than even.
Yeah, they had a winning record in the second half.
And they still end up tied for last. But
Well, yeah.
honestly,
Unfortunately, the first half does matter.
I'm really glad actually that, the last place record is 6-10. Like that's not that bad. We're
Mhm.
we're still a relatively competitive league, but one place in which we might not be super competitive is the Knights versus the Wilds. This is the current best team in the league versus the current worst team, 14-1, 5-10. It is certainly possible. The Luigi Knights will be bringing the same lineup they bring every time. I am not taking it easy on Calvin at all. Blue Toad catches, Brown Critter on second with the star. Left field Green Toad, I shuffled him a little bit just because of the way the Wilds bat. Center fielder Autumn, right fielder Green Shy Guy, shortstop Petey. Luigi gets to be the starting pitcher again. Third baseman Blue Shy Guy, and myself over at first. It's worked for us so many times before, I expect it to work again, but we'll have to find out as we go to the jungle because the Wilds have yet another change in lineup. Even this late into the season, I don't believe we've seen this configuration before. What is it I'm looking at?
It's interesting. We've got Dixie Kong leading off at first base, Diddy Kong pitching, Donkey Kong batting third is going to be behind the dish. Tiny Kong over at third base, Baby DK at second, Blue Yoshi manning shortstop, and our star defensive outfield of Baby Mario in left, starred Baby Luigi, our beloved center fielder, and Calvin over in right field.
Yeah, I mean,
I
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, one thing that I never really wanted to point out, don't interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake and all that. Um, Calvin does not have chemistry with Dixie Kong. But aside from that, every batter in this lineup has chemistry with the preceding batter, including Baby DK, who previously was placed after Donkey Kong, a character he did not have chemistry with. Um, Donkey Kong now having a chem item on deck actually could matter in a way that I'm not sure how I feel about.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Certainly, certainly I'm not worried about what this is going to say about the Knights season, but I would like to not lose to the last place team.
Yeah, you want to feel that momentum going into playoffs. It's good to have the team morale, right? You pop the champagne tonight, you want it to be because you won.
That said, if the players end up taking it easy and feeling like they need to just save themselves for playoffs, they haven't told me that's the kind of game they're planning on, but at the same time, I won't be totally mad if they do. Only one way to find out, though, and that is by playing the jungle. Faster we get through this, the faster we get to the big ones. So let's see some baseball.
Damn. on some hater shit there.
Yeah, Calvin, owner of the Wilds, has been a very vocal coach when he's been willing to show up and support his team. Hopefully, we don't drive him.
He's doing the Moneyball thing where he's like, "Oh, I don't go to the games." You know, he's Brad Pitt.
Whatever works. And speaking of things that tend to work, Brown Critter, with a man on first and no outs, could get things started off right and fast. Gets down just in front of Baby Mario and left for a single.
Yeah, you know, not the best possible outcome there, but when Brown Critter gets on base, you're happy.
When Green Toad nearly triple plays, you are less excited, however. Not the kind of performance you're expecting out of a Toad. And the shell item doesn't come out in time. God, no ability to dash is killing the base running from Autumn there. Knights don't put anything on right out of the starting gate, but that is okay. We are a defensive team. Luigi flanked by Petey Piranha and Brown Critter is a terrifying image for anybody standing in the batter's box.
Absolutely. Especially when, right, this is an offense that, like, really needs to get something started. And then with the chemistry from there, they are able to snowball. And Diddy Kong getting something started here, getting on base for Donkey Kong, giving him that extra contact power, Tiny behind, giving him a shell item that could become relevant. And Donkey Kong swinging for the fences here. It's absolutely what you want to see from him, right? He's one of the best power hitters in the entire game.
First one foul
He's trying to
left.
show that right here. Green Toad's running over. Is it quickly enough? Autumn just makes that out. And Diddy Kong will have to retreat back to first.
Autumn is, really, in my unbiased opinion, a Hall of Fame center fielder in this league. You're gonna have to try harder than that. That means it's 2 outs and a man on first for Tiny Kong. Straight to Petey Piranha. Goose eggs for both teams in the first here. I'm just happy things are running. After I got that computer notification sound and some rather significant slowdown, I was a little worried. Seems to be normal now. Effective use of a star pitch from Diddy Kong there got Green Shy Guy to waste a star. Still, you're spending 2 for 1 at that pace. Petey Piranha going for a big one.
And Petey's looking to go yard. Baby Luigi, you know, he's got that star. He's got those hops. He is able to, with the help of Calvin, hop high enough in order to rob Petey Piranha of that home run.
It was a high ball, but not quite too high for Baby Luigi. Yeah, if we can do it to Donkey Kong, I suppose they're allowed to do it to Petey.
Yeah, you know, they've got Luigi Crow Armstrong out there in center field, so even if Baby Luigi's bat has cooled down at points this season, he really feels like he's found his place out there in center field.
Yeah, spent a fair amount of time at shortstop. Actually did a lot better than I think anybody was expecting of him, but he really has fallen into most any position pretty well. I don't know how I feel about the time he spent pitching, but every other position he's played. There's that super dive from Petey coming in.
Very nice, very nice. You know, just another day at the yard for Petey Witt Jr. over there.
A rare error from Autumn is not going to end this inning. In fact, it's going to give Baby Mario a double. Hold on a minute. Baby Luigi has the opportunity to be the first one to bat in a run this game.
And he's got that chemistry there with Baby Mario, so that does help his contact. He's going charge. He's going just into the gap.
Pow
Petey
item.
can't get there. Oh.
Pow item comes out just in time here. Now it's 2 outs, runner on third. Knights could have been out of this inning a minute ago, but instead they're going to have to contend. Never mind, Brown Critter. Brown Critter makes it no harm, no foul.
That dive is so insanely difficult to make, right? If you're diving in the same direction as the ball, that's a million times easier, right? The ball's coming to you, you're going towards the ball, you're going to meet each other. If you're driving in the same direction as the ball, you can't really see it. You're trying to judge your momentum against the ball's movement. It's insane.
I'm sure that
was an insane dive from Brown Critter.
I am sure that East Zach, owner of the Bowser Monsters, has cursed every day I allowed him to trade Brown Critter over to me.
Yeah, it was a pretty
nothing.
insane move.
I regret nothing.
What did you give up for that trade?
Green Madge.
Filthy.
He needed pitching! I don't know what to tell you. There's that toe trajectory coming into play. I'm not going to try and take third. I think that's fair. Of course I knew it was I didn't think it was quite as bad a trade as it turned out to be. I did expect more out of Green Magic Koopa than we got this season. But, yeah, I knew I was getting the better deal. And Brown Critter looking to show everybody why. Baby Luigi kind of just stops running for that one. I don't know that he was going to get there in time, but he certainly wasn't.
I guess he decided he couldn't get there in time. It's the last game of the season. You know, you're not playing for anything meaningful.
Either that, or maybe he thought it was going to take a bad bounce off the foul pole and go outside, but instead, it's a massive 3-run shot.
If it hits the foul pole, it's a home run, though.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
Baby Luigi didn't know that.
We're 16 games into the season. Everyone's hurt in some way or another, right? Luigi has to ice his knees daily just to be able to play.
I love that as soon as you say everyone's hurt, we watch Baby Luigi in center get run over by a barrel twice his size.
Yeah, medical trainer rushed onto the field, but Luigi waved him off very quickly.
These kids, they just love to play.
He may not have the energy to run over on every single play and jump up time and time again, but he wants to stay in this game. He wants to see it out to the bitter end.
He might be wishing he left. Bases loaded, 1 out for Petey Piranha. Very patient on that first pitch. Stone still. And instead of a charge, we get one of those high-leverage star hits. Green Toad waiting on third for far longer than necessary, but not at all punished. A 2 RBI single. Autumn was all the way up to third, screaming at Green Toad to run. I don't know, maybe he was thinking about something else. Whatever the case.
Felt like that really should have been a 3 RBI double, or at least a 3 RBI single.
Whatever the case, it is all that Diddy Kong is going to pitch. DK on the mound, and then and that's all. Okay. Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong going to swap places. We'll see how it does. Donkey Kong's got a pretty good star pitch, and it costs half as much as Diddy Kong's. Maybe that'll do something. Luigi, of all players, trying for a home run. Not his strong suit. This one gonna pull very far foul left. Instead, it is a contact hit that Blue Yoshi misses, but successfully alley-oops to Baby Mario in left. I was hoping for a minute there. Instead, we put this in Blue Shy Guy's hands with 2 on, 2 out. Not the batter I would have chosen. This the reason why. Still, you know, for being the weakest batter on my team, I think Blue Shy Guy is a pretty good floor. If you don't have anybody batting worse than him, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's fair. I completely agree. You know, we're not there right now, but I think having a team where every batter is at least competent really helps you on a stadium like Luigi's Mansion. That's so hard to have those big home run plays.
Yeah, we have seen very few balls go over the fence. Speaking of balls going over the fence, with runners on first and second right now, Donkey Kong's got a bit of a chemistry boost. The worst he can do is 3, which leaves the Knights ahead by 2, but we're a defensive team. We really like our shutouts.
Yeah, just terrible. Just completely got jammed on the bat there. One of the worst at-bats I think we've seen from Donkey Kong all season, unfortunately.
Yeah, a nice moment for Blue Shy Guy to show what he's capable of on the defense. Having a super dive at third has not come into play very often in this league, but it's not come into play never. Now, I said all the way back in week 1 that Baby DK is a player capable of going yard. He's not showing it right now, and probably won't, as they tend to go contact on 3, which is a bit of a mistake when it comes to Brown Critter on second. Once again, things shut down. You've got myself, you've got Blue Toad, you've got Brown Critter. These are the 3 who put up those 3 runs earlier. Man, I am really not interested in any extra bases. That definitely could have been a double. With a charge hit, Blue Toad's thinking about being the one to clear the base paths all by himself. Unfortunately, Blue Yoshi makes a very good grab for that at short. That's a lot more distance than I thought the tongue catch had.
That didn't. I feel like he maybe got a little help. Maybe he's taken lessons from Birdo on how to use that vacuum. Really just pulled it back into his tongue. That was insane.
Good take from Brown Critter on the barrel ball, by the way. Trying to pull another home run out to left field. This one's going to go a little foul.
Yeah, push, but yeah.
And barrel ball for 3. Donkey Kong manages to strike out Brown Critter here. Good star pitch use from
Impressive.
Donkey Kong. He's
Very nice.
throwing a ton of them right now.
Yeah, I get that this,
Yeah, leave it all on the field.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
He's getting stars back as quickly. Does chemistry help you regain stars?
I don't know actually. But
Felt like he was regaining stars like crazy there. Like he used 3 pitches and he's already almost full again. I mean, if you're gonna be regaining them that quickly, then yeah, absolutely. Just keep throwing fireballs or barrels in this case.
yeah, Autumn doesn't want to risk getting down to strike 3 on 1, so she takes the first. Unfortunately, bomb not the right item to have in that situation. I think the shell of the pow ball may have done something. Both teams feel like they're leaving a fair number of people stranded right now. We're in the bottom of the 4th, Baby Mario batting.
Brown Critter really great getting that ball out of his glove so that he can make the throw to first before the fireballs become an issue.
I've been absolutely spoiled with this infield. Who are going to record all 3 outs. Short, second, short. Whole lot of zeros for the Wilds. Whole lot of zeros for the Knights, too. Besides one huge inning, not a lot has happened in this game, and we are already in the top of the 5th. Green Shy Guy is going to get aboard first here for Petey, though. Petey Piranha was drafted as this team's big player. He has been outdone a little bit in the home run department by Brown Critter, though he's still excellent in his own right and wants to show what he can do here. This looks pretty good. Are they going to struggle with the roots? Are they going to struggle to get there in time? They are not, just barely. The Baby Bros are still capable of robbing them like the best. Stings a little if you're Petey, I'm sure. That looked good off the bat, but what can you do?
Yeah, what?
Would love to see a rare star hit from Luigi here.
It's definitely been an exciting season, you know, whatever happens these last couple innings. It's been an exciting season for baby Luigi. You know, real strong Rookie of the Year contender.
Yeah, him and Monty Mole have been the subject of a lot of buzz. I mean, evidently his grown-up self is quite the player as well, so I think his career prospects look bright.
Absolutely.
As do Autumn's, another excellent grab from that deep line drive from Diddy Kong. Look, that's what I'm saying.
Great hit by Dixie.
Luigi's star hit is amazing. He just almost never uses it. I don't know if we're going to bias Captain AI in Season 2. We're going to spend a lot of summer talking about Season 2. Expect some changes.
Luigi's really pitching around Diddy here. You know, he's got that contact boost from Dixie Kong.
And as we talk about Luigi not wanting to spend stars, we actually do see a star pitch met with a star swing from Diddy Kong. These are basically free. Autumn struggles a little bit to get that, and it goes all the way around. Single with an extra base means this is no longer a shutout. I can't believe the one time Luigi actually was smart enough to use a, actually smart enough to use a star pitch, and we get nothing for it. I hate giving power hitters the off-speed, but Brown Critter, massive double play from Brown Critter, holy crap. Chucks that one to Petey like it's on fire, and it gets back to first just in time. Knights ahead 5-1 now in the top of the 6th. Blue Shy Guy, myself, Blue Toad batting. Blue Shy Guy struggles a little bit. I'm 2 for 2 so far today, though not a lot of times that I'm going 3 for 3.
Today, possibly.
Just barely.
Baby Luigi can't quite get there.
I thought that was it for me, but no, Baby Luigi keeps my career alive a little bit. And Blue Toad, an excellent blooper slap hit into kind of that shallow center right territory. That's where you want him to go. Well, the good news about umpires is that it sounds like they're going to get turned from blind umpires into robot umpires before long at this pace.
Okay, so it seems decently likely. Like, I realize that the KBO has full ABS. It seems pretty likely that something that is either this current system or very close to this current system of 2 ABS challenges is going to be what we see going forward. Right? They pulled the players, they pulled the umps, they pulled the managers, the fans. Essentially, everybody wants to see the ABS challenge system over full ABS. And, you know, for all the people who complain that the ABS challenge system was going to slow games down, it was going to undo a lot of the work that the pitch clock has done. Every single ABS challenge so far has been hype moments in Aura. Samuel Basayo ended today's game with an ABS challenge, turning a turning a ball into a strike 3 for the final out of the game. It was so sick to see.
Speaking of sick to see, yeah, everybody's very happy about the PD error. I'm just happy Luigi finally used a star pitch, although on strike 1, I'm unsure of its value. Strike 2 inside looked pretty good. I don't know why you give him the off speed for 3, however, leave it to this infield to make another double play. Top of the 7th here, Knights' last opportunity to extend their lead is in the hands of Green Toad, Autumn, Green Shy Guy, PD behind them. You know, that's interesting. I don't actually know if I've paid enough attention to know whether or not the Mario Brothers, in particular, like to use their star pitches only on the first strike. I know Mario has a few times. But then again, I feel like there's a lot of pitchers in this league that like to use their star pitches right away.
It is pretty frustrating.
Also pretty frustrating is that flower that just gives Baby Luigi enough trouble in the outfield to let Autumn get an RBI double, bringing the Knights' lead to 5. Grounder from Green Shy Guy will advance the runner. This gives Petey an opportunity to get one more in, even with a single. Bowser will burn 3 stars to get rid of a batter, and he's smart to do it. Petey going all the way for a homer off the barrel pitch. I am impressed that anybody managed to get that kind of power off the barrel pitch. Imagine what that would have been if it had been a normal ball.
Yeah, for real.
Autumn's happy with a sack run, and unfortunately, no more barrel pitches for the Wilds. DK is all done. What do you think's gonna happen, Meatball? Meatball's not so sure. Alright, Tiny Kong going to pitch. Donkey Kong on short. Yoshi on second. Diddy on third. That leaves Baby DK catching by process of elimination. She's only got to pitch 1 out. Luigi trying for a solo shot. I think it would be his only one this year. That gets down just past Baby Luigi, and this is still going for the Knights. That's a double from their captain.
Yeah, you know, the Luigi Knights have nothing to prove here, but just having that positive momentum, their morale boost to end the season on a good note, get everyone their hits, pad their stats.
Yeah, I mean, hey, a deep RBI single from Blue Shy Guy keeps it moving. Puts this game in my hands now. Well, I guess 4 for 4 was a bit much to ask. I will finish batting 750 tonight. I'm not unhappy with that. Wilds need to put up 7 this inning, starting with Baby Luigi, Calvin, and Dixie Kong.
Everyone in the lineup needs to contribute.
Yeah, and unless the aim with the bananas is on point, which it's not, but it doesn't need to be, baits out an attack from Autumn, and what should have been a routine flyout turns into a triple.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta call that an E8.
No chem item, however.
Calvin
means...
here will score 1.
Yeah,
At the cost of an out, you can't spend an out per run.
Throw really should have been to the cutoff man there. I think Petey had the arm to get that to home in time. He certainly got the mouth to grab that line out from Dixie Kong. Luigi is tired, but really wants to finish this complete game before Donkey Kong shows up. This is his opportunity to do it. Alright, Petey's got the neck. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, look at this. A very rare third strike star pitch. Well rewarded. And yes, indeed, despite being tired, Luigi gets out of it just before the big ape can come up and ruin his day. Pretty normal win for the Knights. I feel like this is a pretty common margin of victory for them.
All right, flex on them.
Little bit. If nothing else, if I end up falling apart during the playoffs and crashing out, I can at least point to an unprecedented 15-1 season.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think. I mean, hey, maybe we're still doing this in our 50s, and one day we see an undefeated season, but I don't really expect to see a season this good ever again.
Yeah, I don't either. The draft lottery liked me, and I'm hoping to ride that all the way through. But speaking of teams hoping to ride that all the way through, we've got some big games coming up for you folks in the second half of tonight. It is only 8:13. We're making great time. I don't see that many dropped frames. Everything's happy. So, with that said, I'm gonna plan on being back. I guess shoot for about 8:25. That's a little more than 10 minutes. We may come back early if we're both here, but I'm gonna take my time, stretch, make myself a nice drink, have a snack, all the good stuff.
Sounds great.
All right, we'll see you folks in just about 10 minutes. Be here for the big ones.
See you there.
And we're happy to have you all here back with us, getting ready to take a look at Game 3 tonight. This is the big one. This is the can't miss event, and we are so happy you're here. It's the Birdo Bows going to the playroom to play the Bowser Jr. rookies. Now, if the rookies win this game, it becomes a question not of who is in the playoffs, but in what positions they will be. If the Bows win this game, anything's possible when it gets to Game 4. So, to that effect, the Birdo Bows will be bringing third baseman Wiggler batting leadoff. Unfortunately, not eligible to pitch tonight. A big moment. You'd love to see him. I still expect him to switch in. Right fielder Red Pianta. Shortstop Birdo. Your starting pitcher is instead Red Noki, who gets a star. Behind her, center fielder Cowboy Zach himself. Left fielder Red Shy Guy. Catcher, Green Noki. Second baseman Yoshi, and first baseman Teal Yoshi. The Bows have run simulation after simulation after simulation. This is what they've come up with. I don't think we've seen Red Noki on the mound at any point in this season, not even in relief. So if she comes out of nowhere to be the dark horse that wins this game, I'm sure it'll be the highlight of her career.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. This is the first time she's taking the mound because otherwise I would have made a Roki Sasaki joke before. But I'm really excited. I hope she performs more like closer playoffs Roki Sasaki and less like regular season starter Roki Sasaki. But the lineup that she has to face tonight is a Bowser Jr. rookies lineup that has Bowser Jr., the captain, batting leadoff out in center field. Red Koopa receiving the star over in right field. August Manning left field, rounding out our outfield. We got King K. Rool batting cleanup and behind the dish. Regular Critter over at shortstop, Goomba Manning third base, Dark Bones fan favorite, archetypical first baseman, Magikoopa over on second, and Baby Peach both rounding out the lineup and taking the mound.
The rookies are definitely a team that have put in a lot of changes throughout the season as well. This is not the first time we've seen this particular lineup, but they've had a few that have worked for them on and off throughout the season. Apparently, this is not the first time that Mario Slugger's AI leagues have been in this position, because the Bows going to the playroom to play the rookies for a playoff spot has apparently happened before. Uberlord, you'll have to let us know how that went. And I am so excited to see how this goes. I wish I could have made it Game 4, but the Playroom doesn't have a nighttime mode, and I just want the last game to be at night. It's a branding thing. But make no mistake, I still feel like this is kind of the primetime spot, We will see what happens here. I hate to hold an excited chat back from what is going to be the deciding factor this season for several teams. Shall we see what happens at the Playroom?
Absolutely.
All right, let me click play and then get my hands off the buttons. I'm glad to hear it was exciting, however it turned out. Hopefully this is too. Baby Peach, I'm sure excited to be the starting pitcher here. Wiggler getting out right away is a rarity for him, but not an unwelcome one if you're a Rookies fan. But it's not going to be as easy as a 1-2-3. Red Pianta gets on with a single. Brings up Birdo, the only power class hitter on this team, funny enough. Does have a few season home runs. This is a much harder stadium than her home field, though.
Yeah, I don't expect her to hit any out here, although she's certainly going to try. That'll pull just foul. She wants it all. She knows how important this game is, and she is ready to rise to the moment. Unfortunately, just a little bit too much juice on that ball.
Yeah, would have
Owner
loved.
of the team, August, is going to make the out himself.
Would have loved to see a star swing from Birdo, one of a few captains we have yet to see any star swing from all season. Some great teamwork, though, as Baby Peach on the mound blocks that fireball, headed for Critter at short, allowing him to make the throw to first. Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. They don't have the stars to make the star swing. Not that she would do it even if she could, let's be honest. Another high ball from Bowser Jr., but that one had no hope of staying fair. Settles for a roller up the middle. Red Noki to Red Koopa, both of these teams' star players facing off now. I'm just glad I remembered to put him there. Honestly,
Red Noki's kind of going for a nasty schmix here. Really using her pitches wisely. You know, if you throw everything in the zone, batters are going to be too prepared.
The star only brings her from a 4 to a 5 in the game's pitching stat department, but as we've said many a time, that stat is kind of misleading. Wiggler's only got a 3 in pitching, and he's the best the CPU League has to offer. Bowser is excellent, of course, but he's got that star pitch to help him out. The Piantas are pretty serviceable pitchers, despite not having an amazing stat, so plenty of opportunities here. And an opportunity for Red Shy Guy.
Shy Guy trying to leave the park.
Instead,
He's gonna bounce off the wall.
I mean, I'm not surprised to learn from a chatter here that the displayed pitching stat is wrong and completely subjective from Nintendo. I mean, look, 18 weeks of this have taught us we've got some notes for the way Nintendo programmed this game.
Red Shy Guy almost hit into a triple play there.
I'm surprised we haven't seen any yet tonight with how many close calls there have been. With runners getting back to first base quickly, taking extra bases, I've been actually pretty impressed with the base running AI for the most part tonight. It usually is worse. Not that it hasn't had some questionable decisions already tonight, but it's usually worse. Speaking of questionable, Goomba takes a dive at that ball going past him at third, but it misses. What did I say last game? Having a super dive at third is not always a big thing to have going on in this league, but man, it comes into play in the strangest ways. And although he couldn't get on base in the first at-bat, Wiggler is still a very reliable hitter. Beautiful little contact single to left field.
Yeah, fielded a bit too quickly to score more than one run, but hey, you're happy to advance the base paths, and if Pianta shows charge, even on this high-walled stadium, he's capable of knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, charge is kind of a rarity for Piantas, but they've not never done it, and Baby Peach is too scared of even that slim possibility to be the one facing it down. August needs to think here for a minute. We'll let him have it. The rookies have good odds of getting in the playoffs, but they are not a lock depending on how tonight goes, so every decision counts. We're going to swatch Baby Peach and Magic Koopa. That's all we're going to do for now.
Kind of interesting.
I think it's pretty reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think negative chemistry second base to first base could be a risk, but it hasn't actually come into play in any significant way throughout the season. And unfortunately, a weak pop-up from Red Pianta is going to be caught to slow this momentum down.
I would kind of just rather have, like, I'd rather have Dark Bones on second.
I disagree, actually. I mean, I know we're, like, talking and giving advice as the game is going. Don't listen to us. Do what you want. But I feel like Green Drybone's career at second for the Monsters has made me extremely suspicious of any player of that class on the middle infield. Maybe Dark Bones is better than Green Bones when it comes to that, but I wouldn't trust him. Long one out to the warning track from Critter, long enough that Red Pianta and Red Shy Guy can go check out what's going on.
Wait for PD real quick. True.
Trade deadline was a while ago, and you were going to have to offer a lot to get PD out of me. I'm never going to see that guy again for several seasons. At least not on my not in my own dugout.
I mean, hey, if you end up with the first pick.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get the first pick in Season 2 at the very least, because we're going to be going based on performance in Season 1, and yeah, I don't expect to be a high seed that way. Speaking of teams looking to be a high seed, this is
taking PD and putting him on catcher. It's funny you mentioned that. In Mario Superstars, PD is actually the best catcher in the game. And really the only catcher, like really the only character that specs out as an actual catcher. He has the best arm, so he can throw runners out on steals.
It's runners on second and third now with no outs for Red Shy Guy here. Bo's up by 2 in the top of the third. And it's still no outs. That's a single. Runners on the corners now up by 3, the Bo's are. Also, you know, shout out, especially with a new game coming up this year, could be relevant. Shout out to Kimmy Ekman, excellent catcher as well. Underrated, I think. Yes, she is statistically the worst kid in backyard baseball, but she's got an arm. Don't let her fool you.
And speaking of having an arm, Critter over at short turns a double play.
Yeah, really instrumental here in keeping the lead from getting any bigger. Rookies do need to get something started, though. Can't win a game if you don't score any runs, and so it is Dark Bones, Magic Koopa, Baby Peach. Not off to a great start here.
Yeah, you know, I'm just looking at the chart right now and trying to think what a PD trade would have to be. Do you think, what would you have said if I came to you with a trade of all 3 bros in exchange for PD, Blue Shy Guy, and Blue Toad?
That would have been interesting. That actually would have resulted in some pretty heavy consideration.
I think the only thing is I never make that trade because I would be an absolute idiot.
I mean, yes, right? Like, I think, you know, having thought about it for 30 seconds, that's something I would have taken. But yeah, I do think it was silly. I think PD and, like, a Shy Guy for 2 bros is probably a more even and more interesting proposition. Yeah, I mean, the Toads are good, right? The Shy Guys are B-tier players. I think most of us have seen that tier list. The Toads are...
Yeah, Shy Guy and Toad still have value, even contrasted to bros. I'm not high enough on PD to think that that's a worthwhile effort.
Speaking of worthwhile efforts here, as we were talking, Heel Yoshi of all players, gets things going right. Wiggler and Red Pianta right behind him. Bases loaded, no outs for Birdo. Magic Koopa gonna see a test of strength here. This is a big one from Birdo, likely going to be just one sack run. Everybody bunching up at second base. Wiggler waits on the bag, but doesn't tag up, despite the fact that he's very fast. Teal Yoshi's got the right idea, though, and that's it for Magic Koopa. Not the first time we've said this before. The rookies have some pretty good pitchers on the roster, but stamina not their strong suit in any department. Now, I've already gotten my revenge as the Knights on the one team that put a blemish on our record. But I still kinda hope the Bows take this, if only to make next game more interesting. I think the rookies are a great team. I think they deserve to be in the playoffs. I think this will be more interesting if the Bows win.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are 5 teams that deserve to be in the playoffs and only 4 that get to. So it's just kind of unfortunate someone's going to be the odd man out.
I like stakes, though. You know, I mean, it's not mathematically impossible to imagine a world where playoffs, except for exact seed positions, were already decided 2 or even 3 weeks ago. And that would have been boring.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we get to guess at what's going to happen next, with K-Rool taking the mound, Goomba catching, Magic Koopa going back to second, putting Baby Peach on third. K-Rool, another one of those pitchers that can do pretty well, but again, stamina not his strong suit. We will see if he can keep the Bows locked down. He'll last probably the rest of this game. But letting up runs drains stamina fast, and in the top of the 4th on only 1 out, runners on 1st and 2nd. It's anybody's guess as to how well he can get him out of this. Star from Red Noki coming in clutch here, just barely thrown out to first. Another one of those moments where you wish they had the dash.
You can't be too upset at her right now. Really putting forth a really nice pitching performance.
Oh yeah, and
you know, there were some questions, but she's pitching a shutout thus far.
And there was definitely some value to advancing the runner there in preparation of Cowboy Zach coming up. Unfortunately, Critter at shortstop is going to close things down, leave a few stranded. Red Noki's showing tired there, though, as we were talking about her. Not sure how much longer I expect her to stay in.
Roki Sasaki started out as a starter and then, had to take some time off and then, was really used in that closer role. So, potentially she's not really built back up to that starter level quite yet.
Yeah, I don't think this is actually worth it. But I have wondered from time to time whether there is value to abusing the start to rest 1 rule by making your rest pitcher, your backup, somebody who is so terrible that you expect them to give up a bunch in the first 2 innings and leave immediately so you can put your ace back in. I don't think it would be worth it. I really don't. But I've thought about it.
Yeah, well, the thing there is like when your ace pitcher comes in, almost no matter what, is going to be pretty closely correlated with the number of runs that you give up. So you might as well start with your ace pitcher, or start with the best available pitcher, because then your best available pitcher gets that starter stamina bonus.
True enough. I forgot about the starting stamina bonus, actually.
Anyway, yeah, I saw Roque had a good start against Cleveland. It was, 4.1 innings pitched? Was it 1 earned run, 2 earned runs?
Teal Yoshi's had some big moments today. This one is just going to get caught at the warning track. Green Noki waits diligently on second base for a tag-up that doesn't occur.
Okay, sure.
Not the first time we've seen that tonight, not the first time we've seen that this game.
And unfortunately, it's going to be a pretty big difference maker, as Green Noki not able to go home on that play because she was running all the way from second.
Not getting caught out at third is huge there, though. That brings up a red Pianta who could do some big damage. And it's gonna rock off the wall, which means it's a 2 RBI single. Top of the 5th here, Bo's leading 6-0. We have a lot of kind of hit or miss teams in this league, but none more so, I think, than the Bowser Jr. rookies, who have picked a bad time to miss. Agreed, K-Rool, agreed.
Yeah, these Bowser Jr. rookies have to get real deep on their pitching now.
It's a shame, because they've had good moments, right? While August, owner of the rookies, takes a minute to think on this, I am going to pull up the sheet. Because while I have not been great about game stats, I have been good about team stats, so... Oh, no, okay. I was wrong. Oh. I wasn't sure, but the Bows did win this the last time these teams faced off. I was going to say I thought they had a split record, but this is their second game. They can't. Yeah, the head-to-head records are going to make a big difference too when things get in here. Okay, some new stuff going on. K-Rool moves to short, Critter to second. August pitches. Bowser Jr. left, Red Koopa center, Magic Koopa right. Okay. Memes are serviceable pitches.
You're desperately hoping that nothing gets hit to right field.
Yeah, Magic Koopa's not an outfielder by nature. If he could use super dives out there, he'd be amazing. As it stands, an extremely early charge from K-Rool is swung on anyway.
Buddy jump should be there, except it bounces off the wall.
Can't help but feel that better timing on that charge up would have put that out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
And K-Rool on the base paths is never ideal. Thinks about going for home, but not with that speed. Unmodded Miis are in fact serviceable anywhere, which is why we let everybody have one of themselves, the owners, plus one spare to round out the numbers. I didn't want to end up being one of the leagues where we fill it with, 18 different Miis and half the players in this game don't get to play because a bunch of joke Miis have taken over. Those leagues exist, and they can do what they want. Finally, going to put something on the board for the rookies here is Dark Dark Bones. Has struggled a little bit at the bat today, but this is a good time to figure it out.
Yeah, instead we're like the NPB. We have a limit on the number of foreigners each team can have.
Well, when you say it like that, doesn't sound great. Cowboy Zach, it's Wednesday. It is in fact Wednesday. I take that to mean it is Big Wig Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
But does that keep Roki on third, is my question. Yeah, this was kind of what I thought I was going to see.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I mean, Red Pianta's Red Pianta's certainly, like, doable out there, right?
Hmm.
I actually don't know how much speed affects your fielders. I feel like we've seen some pretty slow outfielders and some pretty fast outfielders get to pretty similar buddy jump situations. I'm sure it's made a marginal difference in some ways I haven't immediately noticed, but
I think it definitely makes a difference.
laser beam, not enough of a factor. I mean, when you have chemistry, you can still do the kind of buddy toss, so yeah, it's fine, right? I'm taking it to mean that this is it. I haven't seen anything else, so... Cannot imagine trying to orchestrate fielding changes without any prior notes. You should see half of this league, my friend. Good fielding change it is. Magikoopa not able to make good enough contact to get that past the infield. I mean, hey,
Yeah, especially, 16 weeks in, right? We have a few different lineups that we will sort of swap between.
Yeah, you've kind of got it figured out by now. Owner to owner right now in a heated match. Rookies take this one. Still, it may be winning the battle, losing the war situation for the rookies here, as their defense is starting to hold a little better than it has previously, with a good dive from K. Rool on short. But they've got to put up 6 runs at least, and we are already in the 6th inning.
Yeah, I mean, third base is the farthest through at a home plate of the infield. Balls come at you quick. There's a reason that it's nicknamed the hot corner.
Yeah, actually, sometimes... Now that you say that, I actually wonder if maybe there's not one change I should consider making in my starting lineup, even this late in. Yeah, maybe. If, just thinking out loud here, if I were to put myself on third and Blue Shy Guy on first, I would have chemistry with the home plate, the catcher, and with the first baseman. And having that chemistry from third might be more valuable than having it from first. Although, like most of the changes I've made on the Knights side, I think the margin of error is probably greater than the expected benefit from something like that.
It's true.
Because at the same time, you are losing a super dive on third, which has come in handy. I just like first base for the swap position, because it's a position that Luigi and I can both play pretty well, and we're the only 2 pitchers the Knights have ever needed, so, just kind of works. Speaking of things that usually just kind of work, Wiggler up here trying to get something going for the Bows. They don't need anything right now, but it would be nice to have.
Yeah, it would be nice to walk your way into the playoffs with just one last Wiggler single into Red Pianta home run.
Magikoopa does not have much of an arm. I don't think the throw to first there would have been in time. I still think it would have been a better call.
Birdo, unfortunately, just grounds out sharply to Dark Bones to end the inning.
The rookies need to put up 6 to get this into extras. 7 wins it. It would not be the biggest half inning we've seen in this league, but it would be up there.
And they would definitely be the biggest comeback, right?
I believe so. K. Rool has hit a few home runs in this stadium before, but instead strikes out looking on an outside pitch from Wiggler. That could be the death knell. In other news, August, owner of the Bowser Jr. Rookies, learning something in chat that I didn't want to state explicitly, but, feel like I gave him an opportunity to correct. Not going to matter, though. It's an infield kind of game, and things get interesting now.
Beautiful double play there at the end.
Yeah.
So,
that's
to
the
give
kind of
everyone
game.
an idea. Oh,
Sorry, I was just going to say quick. That's the kind of game that the Bows have always been capable of playing, and yet we find them still kind of on the outside of the playoffs. It's surprising to see, but what were you going to say about what's coming up?
so to give everyone an idea of the stakes here right now, the Bows are in.
I don't know that they are. Are you sure? I need to double check this myself.
If the Bows and the Fireballs win, then it's Bows and Rookies. If the Bows and the Muscles both win, then they go to the playoffs and the Rookies are bumped out.
Okay. I did my memory.
So yeah.
Right. So okay.
Yeah. So the Bows are in guaranteed. The Rookies are not out of it yet, though. The Rookies need to root for the Fireballs here. If I win this next game, then it's going to be Knights, Fireballs, Bows, Rookies. If I lose this next game and Nate wins this next game instead, then it's gonna be Knights, Fireballs, Bows, Muscles.
Given the last,
I'm not sure the exact order of that, but
given the last time these teams faced off, I definitely have the smart money on the Fireballs. But anything's possible.
hey, it's a whole new stadium. It's a whole new ball game.
It absolutely is, and the Muscles know what this game means. They are absolutely ready. Who do they got to face in the Fireballs?
This team's been the same. It doesn't change.
I know. I don't know if you need to say it, but for formality's sake.
Red Critter receiving the star at shortstop. Hammer Bro over at third base. Boomerang Bro over at first. Fire Bro out in right field. Red Madge over at second. Myself in center field. Mario taking the mound. Red Toad in left field. Baby Daisy's here too at catcher. This is the less successful of my two lineups. Unfortunately, there was no way for me to be able to stack it so that for all the important games, I was starting Red Madge. So instead, this is a worse lineup defensively. And Mario, not the best pitcher. However, we're going to try and make up for it with some big runs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is. I think this could be exciting. I know that the Muscles are bringing another lineup that they've seen before. Wario at short. Never on the mound again is the note I have been given pretty consistently throughout this season. Go check out week, I think it's 5, or maybe 3, or maybe both, if you haven't seen how that went. Yellow Shy Guy in right behind him, Waluigi on third, batting third as well. Red Yoshi, second baseman. King Boo, your starting pitcher. Paragoomba gets the star, plays first, may get on the mound in relief. We'll see what happens. Yellow Pianta in left, Purple Toad catching, and Nate brings up the rear playing center field. It is an exciting lineup. I think all the way back at draft night, Nate, owner of the Muscles, had stated his intent was not to draft a team that anyone expected to win. But he did want to draft a team that everyone thought just might make it. It's
how poetic.
Yeah, it's worked out exactly as intended. He came in and he wanted to draft a third place team, and these bronze medal aspirants are staring down the barrel of a very tough matchup, but they can still get there. I'm excited. This is a big game for so many teams. It changes the positioning of the seeds, even if the Fireballs win. So I guess we better let the players speak for themselves, yeah?
It sounds good to me.
All right, for the last time in No Slugger Left Behind's regular season, 18 weeks deep, let's play ball. Quick shout out, by the way, to one of our guest chatters here, Mr. Uberlord's been around for a while. Mentioned that Boo actually pitched a complete game in a CPU league he saw. I don't know that I've ever seen Boo pitch a complete game.
I wish I could see him like if the CPU could exploit what makes Boo good in PvP, he'd be incredible.
And King Boo, another player who doesn't have amazing stamina, but would love to see a complete game from King Boo here tonight if you are the muscles. Starred Boo, okay. Well, Boo consistently gets the star in this league too. The Fireballs have probably the toughest 1-2-3 in this league. The muscles have gotten past it for now, but they'll be back. And yeah, there's a lot of things that the CPU doesn't properly use. One thing I think that's really interesting is initially some of my research suggested that PD Piranha is actually a really good center fielder. And I think in PvP he continues to be because you have access to super dives in the outfield. And he's got pretty good chem. CPU League, keep him in the middle infield. But yeah, he's actually serviceable in some other positions if you're going PvP.
Yeah, Slugger's PvP is not something I know much about. As Red Critter gets the super dive, has to compose himself a little bit for that throw.
Yeah, Waluigi...
But still makes the play.
Waluigi's contact is much, 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 much better than his power. It is the largest difference between any two stats in this game.
Oh my goodness, the manhole cover is gonna make that a home run.
Yeah, Yellow Pianta cannot navigate around that. What should have been a pretty easy buddy jump is instead a solo shot from Fire Bro. Gets hit by that twice. You're happy it was only a solo shot, but every run matters in this game, and you're not loving losing one like that. Oh, one of the beauties of No Slugger Left Behind is teams play in their branded stadiums, so no questions. Home team is the home team, and they always bat last. We've had some talk of drafting stadiums, but I've had a bit of a stick up my ass about that. It's about the branding. Nate, owner of the Muscles, has been designing t-shirts. You wouldn't want to rob him of that, would you?
Mario gets a crazy slap hit there. I feel like Red Yoshi should have been able to get that.
Yeah, I'm impressed at Mario getting on base. Somebody mentioned Mario being an impressive pickup. Mario has arguably been the least impressive player on his own team this season. Speaking of impressive, King Boo throws a strikeout to Red Toad to close things down. Brings up Red Yoshi, King Boo himself. And I already forget who's in the hole. I should know by now. Paragoomba. I've got it pulled up. Yeah, KB, strikeout man himself, could tie this up with a solo shot. He's got a few on the season, but not a ton. This ain't one of them.
Great time to use a star pitch here.
Yeah, and a massive swing and a miss from Paragoomba. Does not use a star
Yeah,
pitch to
I would have
secure
liked
the
him to use
strikeout.
2 star pitches there. Thank God we got red crit.
Super dives are insane.
Gunnar Henderson, my goat.
Baby Daisy is not entirely a freebie, but she's certainly the easiest batter King Boo has to face this inning.
And then we're back to the top of the lineup.
Here we are. Did pretty well against these three last time they came up to bat. Not going to do as well this go-round. Boy, that was launched. I'm
Gunnar
impressed.
Henderson knows how to hit home runs.
I'm impressed they even made the buddy jump attempt at that. That was gone. King Boo's struggling now. You do not want a tired pitcher against three bros, but he wants to stay in, and Hammer Bro's gonna show him why he shouldn't. Back-to-back solo shots.
And it just like it feels you're on cloud nine anytime that you get the home run where they get there in time for the buddy jump, but it's not enough. Like that's when you know you're launching it.
Chat is not thrilled. Join me on the dark side, Iris. You and I can be the villains of this league.
You know,
Isn't it time for Mario and Luigi to be the villains? Haven't they done enough princess saving?
someone's got to take down the bad guy.
Become that which you sought to destroy.
No, I gotta be the face that's, you know, somewhat successful. Everyone hates me though. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to see my downfall, so.
Including Nate, who
Whatever.
is putting Waluigi on the mound to see if that can make a difference. 3 runs is not insurmountable, but we haven't really seen any comebacks yet tonight. Seems like whoever takes the early lead runs away with it.
I know, Zach. I know I'm the only one.
Yeah, I think actually I might prefer a Muscles win too, because I don't actually love the prospect of facing the only team that's beat us in the first round of the playoffs.
God, the bros are so slow.
The bros are, in fact, so slow.
A deep line drive to right field, and he still can't get there in time.
Hot one for
Anyway,
Mario.
people would have liked me more if I had the same record, but like, you know, the same win rate across the whole season. You know, you look at my final record, I'm not hateable, okay? I'm not.
Quick double from Yellow Pianta is maybe going to start something for the Muscles this inning. Purple Toad, generally a pretty good batter. Red Magikoopa's super dive can't quite make it happen, and so it's runners on the corners with no outs for owner Nate. Has shown up in some big ways in the past, and the shell item is enough for a sacrifice run.
Yeah, you know, only turned 1 instead of 2 there. The shell item, pretty instrumental.
And the arrow here, the home field helping the home team. It's been said before that the home field here does not help the home team very much, but that is not the case tonight.
I don't know if it would have made a difference. I don't know if I could have gotten the throw to home in time.
Yeah, hard to say, but I think the odds of Purple Toad staying on third are certainly better. And as Yellow Shy Guy grounds out into a double play, you are happy that Purple Toad went all the way.
That's the fastest I've ever seen Magikoopa run. Holy.
Everybody's
Bro
leaving it.
stepped on the bag and then turned around and threw to first midair.
Everybody's leaving it all on the field tonight.
Madge wants to hit one out of the park.
We have had
Gonna pull way foul.
We have had 2 Magic Koopa home runs on the season, 1 green, 1 blue. Red would like to be part of that club, but no dice. Muscles are still in this, but they are down by 1, top of the 4th. Iris batting, 1 out, make that 2.
Yeah, I mean, extremely tight ball game. Mario's looking really good at the plate today.
Yeah, the most reliable double play hitter on this team is 2 for 2 right now.
You know, maybe he's just really feeling the team spirit right now as Toad. You really want to take here. That's going to land just foul.
I think you've said, if you have a 50% success rate on that hit up the third base line, you go for it every time.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, didn't work out that time for him, and so the Fireballs don't put up anything in the top of the 4th. Waluigi, Red Yoshi, King Boo, an opportunity for the Muscles to catch up or even pull ahead. One quick out, though, does not start it off right. Line out to second, line out to short. Can King Boo get a solo shot and move the needle at least a little? He's going to try. Red Toad's fast. You can only hope this is too high to grab. Yeah, forget it. Just doesn't have the kind of off-the-bat velocity that some of the Fireballs home run hitters do.
And you're really thankful there that was hit out to left field.
Yeah, Mario,
right field with Bro.
Mario remains on the mound for the Fireballs here. Like I've said before, you're almost hoping he gives up so that you have the opportunity to throw Magic Koopa in there. Quick out from Baby Daisy, like I said, the easy one. Now you've got some tougher hitters coming in. Arrow actually helps a little bit there, I think. Certainly didn't hurt.
Yeah, I'm not sure it would have made a difference.
Red Critter is pretty slow. I don't know that would have been a double in any universe. This, however, looks like it could be a home run, but it starts pulling foul too soon. We've said before that this liar ball of Waluigi's doesn't do much, but it may be reducing the power just enough to make this buddy jump possible.
It's possible.
You can see that ball dies kind of quickly.
Though.
Hot one from Boomerang, bro. This time the arrow is not
Arrow
doing
should turn it into a double, possibly, definitely should score Red Critter here. Wario can't make it to the plate in time, even with that laser.
How did the shortstop get that far to the right? How did Meatball get on my desk? Meatball, what are you doing?
He was being the cutoff man. Shortstops tend to be someone who can throw hard.
Fair enough. And I mean, he can. I'm surprised that second baseman Red Yoshi was doing something else. I'm not saying it's the wrong move. I'm just saying I'm surprised the CPU made the right move.
Yeah. There's like certain classic, baseball conventions that are programmed in there.
Waluigi plays first now, and a somewhat green, but statistically pretty good, starred Paragoomba takes the mound. Well, this is not going to help his statistics one bit. Even without the manhole getting in the way of that, that was gone. G-O-N-E, forget it.
You'll have to see the bats come alive.
Immediately giving up a 2-run shot. This puts the Muscles a whole grand slam behind in the top of the 5th. It's not looking great.
I love that there. Line drive just right up the center. You don't need power. You just need to know how to aim it.
Ground out from Iris does end this. But man, a 3-spot from the Fireballs really stings right now. The Muscles just don't have the kind of raw home run power that a stadium this shallow allows. I mean, really, if you're the Fireballs, this is the ideal away stadium. It plays very similarly to your home, just with more crap going on in the outfield. Crap that does get Yellow Pianta to second. We'll see if it makes a difference here. Fireball's sitting on a full roster of 5 stars. Would not be upset to see Mario use a star pitch here, but we're not likely to. He might to secure the strikeout. Nope. But he didn't need it. Another Toad goes out looking this game. This time it's on the Muscles side. A good...
You know, Mario's buddy throw, not in time, but kind of avoids disaster with that shell.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're not looking at any more injuries going into playoffs later. RBI single from Nate is certainly nice, but you're still on 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, down 3 against a team that you probably aren't going to hold scoreless for the rest of this game. Oh my god, Wario.
Oh my god,
I cannot believe that wasn't safe. It didn't even trigger the close play.
Mean?
Didn't even trigger the close play. How the hell?
Ow.
Man, when the Fireballs are feeling bad for you. Close plays only happen on 3rd and home. Huh. I never noticed. I guess it makes sense. Mario goes 3 for 3. New chatter, Kirby, and a bunch of numbers. Hi, Kirby. You picked a good time to start watching No Slugger Left Behind. We are out here deciding who's going to make the playoffs with the last game of the regular season.
I was really hoping that the manhole would have activated there and made that ball go fair. Instead, Red Toad's gonna hit one out to shallow left center. A solid single, and you're just hoping that Baby Daisy doesn't hit into a double play.
She hasn't yet today. Well.
But it's never too late to start.
Announcer's curse. Still, Mario on 3rd, Red Critter up to bat. I don't know that Paragoomba has what it takes to stand up to this. And case in point...
Nate's getting there in time. Will they have the height? They do. They make the out.
What is this? This is Mario Baseball, my friend. Mario Super Sluggers for the Wii. 9 teams, CPU versus CPU. We're just here commentating, making some fielding changes, but it's up to the computer to decide what it wants to do, and we have a lot of constructive criticism. Playoffs will be the Luigi Knights, the Mario Fireballs, the Birdo Bows, and either the Wario Muscles or the Bowser Jr. Rookies, depending on how this game finishes. Looking a lot like it's not going to be the Muscles.
Yeah, you know, I hate to say anything too soon, but this has been an incredible performance by Mario this game on both sides of the plate. He's given up a decent number of hits, but still held the Muscles to 3 runs, Meanwhile, is he 3 for 3 right now on the bat?
Yeah, I can't believe that the Fireballs player with the most double play hits on the season has not a 1 yet this
Oh my
game.
god, King Boo.
Once again, too slow on the base paths. Speaking of slow on the base paths, it's 3 bros. That's a screen you look at and all you can wonder is how that happened. How you're sitting here as Nate, you're wondering how did I end up in a situation where I'm facing 3 bros back to back to back?
Yeah.
And this is
right
what they're
now,
gonna do.
Pauses. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation.
They're holding right now with a buddy jump to stop Hammer Bros' first solo shot, but not at all out of the woods with Boomerang and Fire up yet.
Oh my god, I thought that was gonna hit the foul pole.
If you're Yellow Shy Guy, you are so relieved that that pulled foul.
Boo, don't go for contact.
Hitters like to go for contact on the third strike. It can be a way to neutralize them. Firebro has been on fire tonight. This just keeps it going. Is that his 3rd home run of the night? I think it is.
I think it might be. It's hard to remember with all the different bros.
Yeah, we have not seen any big comebacks tonight, and with the Fireballs up by 4 in the top of the 7th, it's not likely that we're going to. Wario makes an attempt at a dive there, but it doesn't get there in time. Boo Item extends things a little bit. Red Magic Koopa turns that single into a double.
How many Magic Koopa doubles do you see a season?
Chem items help. Nate is finally going to end the horror here. It's not 18-0. It's not 18-0, but 7-3 doesn't look great. Paragoomba, Yellow Pianta, Purple Toad, and Nate behind them. They need a grand slam. Paragoomba, of all players, might just get it out there in time.
Aww.
Come on, Iris. You couldn't let him have it. You're in either way. What do you care?
I'm sorry. This is the playoffs on the line.
And it's all down to Purple Toad now. We've seen a lot of movement. Teams can do stuff on 2 outs. Purple Toad has struck out once this game, and it's looking like he might again. No.
The fireball trying to end it all doesn't go quite the way Mario wants. That's a single allowed.
Starting to get tired.
Mario is exasperated.
He wants the complete game, though, and I don't blame him. You've got 1 out to record here. And Red Magic Koopa does it. The Muscles season comes to a close. They needed a rookie's win to secure it for themselves. Instead,
What a way to end the season.
It's a better
Good game,
performance.
Nate.
It's a
Well
much
played.
better performance than the last time these teams faced off. I'm happy for that reason alone. Now, folks, if you'll give me just a minute to punch these in, we can take a look at exactly how this goes. Let me just try to remember. I should have been updating this, but I was busy making a drink. I'm not going to worry about the first 2 games yet, because they don't affect anything. The Fireballs win. They move to 9-6-1. They win 7-3, so runs 4. 131 season runs for the league record. That is pretty impressive. Runs against moves to 87. The Muscles go to 8-8. We talked about a potential 500 team in the playoffs, but we are not going to get that, unfortunately. Would have been interesting. Would have been interesting. And
I mean,
the Bows beat the Rookies. What, 7-1?
uh, this sounds right.
All right, Bows beat the Rookies 7-1. That brings their runs 4-61. Brings their runs against to 53. One of not many teams with a positive diff. And the Rookies pick up 1, brings them to that, and lose 7. That brings them there. Now, if I sort by win percentage. Oh dear, I've done something hard. We're not going to do that. Sorted by win percentage, and I just fucked everything up. So, yeah, it comes down to the Rookies versus the Muscles here. The Muscles have the better run differential, but unfortunately, the Rookies do have the head-to-head record, winning both of their regular season games against the Muscles, and that is enough to keep them there. So, the playoffs next week will happen at normal time. It will be the Knights versus the Rookies and the Fireballs versus the Bows, both teams in a best of 3 series. Home field advantage going to the higher seed. Following that, we've got some stuff in the works for the full-on playoffs. Expect some updates. If you're not in the Discord, definitely get there because we may be changing a little bit of our schedule. But it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it feels crazy. It feels like we just started. It's hard to believe that we've got 18 weeks in the books, 4 whole months. And, I had a really great time doing this. And I'm super excited to launch into the playoffs next week.
As am I. As am I. Of course, you know the drill, folks. Be in the Discord if you're not there. Be ready for playoffs next week. We may start a little early since it could be more games, right? So depending on how it goes, since it's best of 3, the playoffs will be anywhere between 4 and 6 games in week 1. Finals will be best of 5, which means it could be anywhere between 3 and 5 games in the next week. So we normally do 4 games. On average, it'll take about the same amount of time, but just in case, we may start a little ahead of schedule. We'll see what happens. Only way to know for sure is to be here, though. So, Iris, do you want to sign us off here quick?
Yeah, absolutely. One last time in the regular season. That's going to do it from us here at No Slugger Left Behind. We'll be back here next week, possibly at 7, possibly a little earlier. Be sure to follow the channel if you would like to be notified when we go live. We have a Discord in the description. Join that, chat with everyone else. Join VC during games if you would like. And with everything else out of the way, a book closed on the regular season. We'll see you next time in the playoffs.
Be there or be square, folks.